morning. Welcome to Joy in Our Town. I'm your host, Lorene Tanaka. We are here this morning with Keone Subiono, and he is the owner of CrossFit East Oahu and CrossFit West Oahu. Thank you so much for being here, Keone.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, my goodness. Now, okay, we've eaten so much food during the holiday season, a lot of good food. What are some of the healthy and unhealthy things that we typically eat during the holidays?
During the holidays, what's going on right now is just people are letting loose. So hands down, it's going to be sugar. There's way too much sugar.
It's true. A lot of desserts.
We have way too much dessert and way too much overeating. That's the problem with the holidays. Is it's the holiday cheer, holiday spirit. So everybody's eating way too much sugar and way too much overeating. That's the issue.
At any time throughout the year, though, whenever we get together for parties, is there a way at parties or special gatherings, is there a way to eat healthy?
Absolutely.
How can you do that? How can you do that when everything's all in front of you?
Everything's in front of you, but I think at this point in our society today, we can make better decisions, right? So regardless of what the spread is, right, and we, especially local style, there's going to be everything. So what we do, number one, is to always be aware of just the excess carbs, refined carbs and sugar, right? And then just being mindful of portion control. So I think if we're just mindful just not to overeat so much and to spread things out, and if we're just aware, if we're aware, we can make better decisions and not overeat so much. That's the thing. When we eat, there's a point where our body says that's enough. I think if we just listen to that voice, and it's a biochemical mechanism in our body, is when the body says enough. I think if we could just stop there, that would make a big difference for holiday eating. Okay.
So if you actually you're eating and you stop and you say, am I still hungry?
Yes.
And if the answer is no, I'm good. That's
Absolutely.
It. Then that's
Absolutely.
it. It's really simple. Yeah. Don't wait till your stomach is just bursting.
Absolutely. And I think oftentimes social gatherings during the holidays, they'll go on for hours, right? They'll go on for, a social gathering at lunch will go on for a few hours, probably into the evening.
It'll roll right into dinner, right?
So you can eat a little bit and then stop and then eat some more later. But
okay, so stick with the smaller portions. Don't just gorge on a huge meal and then eat another big meal.
Because oftentimes when we go, just because there's a big spread, we make our plate like this, right?
Right.
We make our plate like this, or sometimes we even have 2 plates. So we can just downsize and space out our portions throughout the gathering.
So say this is the size of your stomach. What happens to your stomach when you overeat?
Oh, when you overeat, if that's the size of your stomach, it just expands. Yeah, it stretches the stomach.
And then you eat again. It stretches again.
Yeah. And then the biggest problem with that is that then your stomach gets used to filling it with that much food before you feel satiated.
Got it.
Right. And at this day and age, with so much processed food, the danger is that there are preservatives, there are chemicals in food that flip off that switch for you to feel full.
Oh.
So it's almost like, food these days are being manufactured to trick that satiation mechanism.
Oh.
So isn't that interesting?
Didn't know that. Tricky.
Tricky.
Okay.
Yeah, food, there's a big difference today between real and whole and natural and organic food that grows and we can eat versus food that's manufactured by companies, right? So food that's manufactured by companies these days, you can pretty much call that food product. It's not really real food anymore.
Like pulling a lettuce out of the ground or out of aquaponics.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you talked about carbs. Why are carbs bad? Some people say carbs are good for energy.
Okay. Yes, carbs.
I mean, we hear this before people run long races, right? They say we're going to do a carbo loading.
Carb load, right. So carbs are good for energy, okay? But it's also important to know that when your body eats food, it stores food as fat, stored energy.
Storage.
So if we have a lot of body fat, that means we have a lot of stored energy. Like a bear that hibernates for the winter.
Okay.
So we have a lot of fat that we can use for energy. So it doesn't always make a lot of sense to overeat carbs, to overeat more energy, because then our body is just going to store it as more fat for more energy in the future.
Wow.
So our body's storing a lot of excess fat just in case there's a famine.
Okay,
Right? But what are the chances?
That's what I tell people I'm doing. I'm storing for the famine.
And then there's two kinds of carbs people need to be aware of. There are basically complex carbs and simple carbs, right? So complex carbs are like brown rice, sweet potato, carbs that take a lot of time to process and digest in your body, right?
Okay. Is that good or bad?
And those are better.
Oh,
those are better, right?
Okay.
So, and then there are sugars that are simple carbs. So those I would call, simple sugars are, I wouldn't really call any food good or bad, but people need to be aware of what the function of certain foods are in the body. So what does food do in your body? So sugar, right, is easily digested and goes into your bloodstream. So if it doesn't get utilized as energy, then it gets stored as fat. Plus, the primary danger behind sugar is that it spikes insulin. So sugar causes your body to spike insulin, right? And then insulin is the storage hormone. So the more sugar in your body, the more insulin, and insulin is the gateway to fat storage, right? So that's very interesting. That sugar is the gateway to fat storage. So your body stores more fat when your body consumes a lot of sugar. So that's the thing. That's what people need to understand, is that a calorie is not a sugar calorie versus a protein calorie. They're different. So that's the main thing, is when we take in too much sugar, it opens the gateway with insulin. So it opens the gateway for your body to store fat.
I find it so amazing. You go to the grocery store and you take two exact same products, but maybe from different companies, and you look at the ingredients. Oh my gosh, it can change dramatically. One may have 10 grams of sugar, the other one will have 17 grams of sugar.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So first of all, it's most important to check, right? People need to be aware.
To know what we're eating, know what we're putting in your body.
Right. So a very effective tip for sugar is to never consume more than 12 grams in any sitting. So that's a very useful tool for people. So they look at the labels, and if something has more than 12 grams, put it back.
In a sitting.
So if any serving, and then you got to look at the label, and you got to see how many servings are in any particular product, right? So if there's 12 grams of sugar in a product, and there might be 4 or 6 servings, right? Right. So
got it.
In any given 20-ounce bottle of soda, there's 20 ounces and there's 2.5 servings, right?
So not necessarily 2.5 for the whole bottle. It's the serving size.
So you take something like soda, and it'll have 25 grams of sugar per serving, but there's 2.5 servings, right? So there's
it's like 40, 50 grams.
Absolutely. Right. So it's very tricky.
Wow. What do you think about, and I mean, because you're in the fitness industry, what do you think about these energy drinks?
Okay, energy drinks. So it's, again.
And we won't single anybody out, so we'll just talk as a,
energy drinks. Energy drinks, I would not recommend. So, because energy just means more sugar, right?
Okay, so somebody's on their way to the gym and they're feeling so sluggish to the day of work and everything, and I need a boost of energy. I'm going to stop and get an energy drink. You saying no?
So I'd say no, because
water.
All sugar, definitely water is the go-to drink. That's what your body needs. Your body needs water, hydration. Your body needs pure things, pure foods, pure water. We take in an energy drink, and this is going to be a lot of sugar and a lot of other chemicals.
So that's what gives you that boost, or that instant high, is that sugar load.
The instant high gives you, an energy drink can have, again, 60 grams of sugar per can, right? So you get that sugar rush, but inevitably after any sugar and chemical buzz, what comes after that? You're gonna crash, right? And then it's addictive. So that's another very, very dangerous thing of sugar. And we live in a time.
Sugar is addictive.
Yeah, sugar's addictive. Sugar's addictive like a drug, right? Basically. So sugar's addictive. So oftentimes, another tip for people to know is that it takes about 3 days to get off of sugar. So people go through sugar withdrawals, right? So never in history has a population we just have so much sugar, so much access to sugar. Everything has sugar in it. So that's what's dangerous, is overconsumption of sugar that is so easily accessible, and it's very addictive.
That's probably why the diabetes rate has gone up too. Wow.
Absolutely. So your body takes in so much sugar, and then your pancreas can't keep up with the insulin production, right? So that's the beginning stages of diabetes, is your pancreas can't keep up with sugar. Like your body we're just consuming so much sugar, and your pancreas is pumping out so much insulin, and eventually your pancreas can't keep up. right? So that's the very first stages of
Okay, so we've
diabetes.
kind of talked about what to stay away from, what to watch, what to avoid. What should we be doing then? You mentioned water.
Absolutely.
Water should be
Right.
our drink of choice.
Yes, so basics, right? Water, just, we were raised, oftentimes we're raised with juice, right? Fruit
Yes.
juice and soda. So it's gonna take time for people to transition to water, but water is just the best thing you can do to flush out, hydrate your system. What should we be doing? Everybody should be on an active, to be moving towards an active lifestyle. Stuff like taking the stairs versus the elevator, just the little things. Oftentimes we're on our computer all day long and posture gets bad and we're sedentary. So just moving around more, getting up out of your office chair and moving rather than sitting in your office chair.
So if you just stood up and marched in place for like
Absolutely.
15 minutes or something, that would be a good thing.
A good thing is just stand up and then make a round around the office. Or go down the stairs, up the stairs. Just, instead of taking a sugar break or a candy break or a coffee break, take an exercise break.
Okay.
That's really, really practical, right? So get up every hour, at least every hour. Get up out of your chair, move around the office, take the stairs, go outside. Get
Good
some fresh
idea.
air
Get
outside.
some vitamin D too, right?
Absolutely, get
there
some
you go.
fresh air. Food-wise, portion control, right? And minimizing sugar, and then just transitioning towards real food, right? Real food. So if you go to a grocery store, all the aisles in the grocery store are processed food,
yes.
right? Processed. So if you go around the perimeter of the grocery store, you can get your produce and your fresh meat, right? So it's a really easy transition. It's eating real food versus processed food. And if people can do that, it'd be so much easier to stay fit, stay healthy, lose a little body fat, feel good about yourself, and you just feel better, right?
Okay, now we've got it just about 30 seconds. Really quick, I wanted to ask you. We want things so instantly in our society.
Yes.
What do you think about these cleanses and detoxes?
That's all it is. It's instant, and it's just instant gratification.
lasting.
Not lasting. No. So sure, it might cleanse you out for 10 days.
Okay,
But
okay.
it's not a lifestyle. Again, it's old school diet mentality. Cleanse is just another new word for diet, right? So I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it because it's not a lifestyle. Everything we do, we have to try and incorporate into a healthy, active lifestyle for long-term
Great, yeah. And when you
sustainability.
create a lifestyle, it becomes so automatic and easy now. You're not even thinking about it.
If you have a clean and healthy lifestyle, there's no reason to cleanse.
There you go.
But if you're eating dirty all the time, then sure, you got to cleanse.